ECOWAS leaders direct immediate enforcement and monitoring of sanctions on Niger Republic military junta. Health practitioners advocate support for breastfeeding mothers. And FCT administration embarks on a 5-day free HIV and AIDS test for staff and residents. A very good afternoon. It's good to have you join us on NTA Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emekamadi. The ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government directed the immediate mobilization and deployment of a standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. This is part of the resolutions of the second extraordinary summit of the ECOWAS leaders under the chairmanship of President Bola Tinubu in Abuja. State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab reports.
There is an unfinished business on the political situation in Nigeria. Leaders of the bloc are back in Abuja to pick up from where they left off. More so, that the security of the sub-region is also deeply involved. The resolutions from the first meeting here 10 days ago, including the one-week ultimatum, went unmet by the military junta. The emissaries for peace are back, but there appears to be more miseries. Against their demands, the ousted elected president, Mohamed Bazoum, is still in captivity and the military remain in power. There was the need for stock-taking.
It is essential to evaluate the effectiveness of our interventions and identify any gaps or challenges that may have hindered progress.
After hours of deliberations, ECOWAS appears not tired of exploring more diplomatic means, but this time with more vigor.
That no option is taken off the table, including the use of force as a last resort.
Direct the Committee of the Chief of Defense Staff to activate the ECOWAS standby force with all its elements immediately. Order the deployment of the ECOWAS standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger.
Keeping President Bazoum as a hostage, I personally consider this as a terrorist act. And we cannot let this continue. We have to act.
While seeking the support of all partner countries and institutions, including the United Nations and African Union, it also clarifies that the resolutions are supported by all member states and not a case of one country against another. From the State House, Musbao Danwahab, NT News.
Health practitioners in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, have advocated the need for more support to mothers, especially in terms of exclusive breastfeeding. Aisha Obale was at the town hall meeting and brought back this report.
The essence of World Breastfeeding Week is built around raising awareness to inform people about the importance of breastfeeding and to engage relevant bodies to enact policies that will enhance it.
Every day should be World Breastfeeding Day because children need to be breastfed, particularly exclusive breastfeeding, and then with the support from all stakeholders, mothers, caregivers, community members, community leaders, and a host of others, including the media.
This is all to equip them to be able to provide the right support, the needed support that these mothers need, right from antenatal to postnatal care.
With over 50% of Nigerian working class estimated to be nursing mothers, the year 2023 theme is tagged Enabling Breastfeeding, Making a Difference for Working Parents, hence the need to create an enabling environment for mothers while caring for the breastfeeding child.
And that mothers are encouraged to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. We are asking for at least 6 months paid maternity leave.
It doesn't allow children to seek. You see your children looking plumpy.
It's very, very active. It's very, very important if you breastfeed your baby for 6 months before eating any food.
It was a consensus that a child who is not breastfed at least 6 months is malnourished and can be prone to diseases that can threaten his or her proper growth. In Abuja, Aisha Obali, NTA News.
Adequate infrastructure enhances healthcare service delivery in any hospital. Director General, FCT Hospital Management Board, Dr. Mohammed Kawu, stated this while commending the Gwarinpa General Hospital on the inauguration of a new accident and emergency facility. Hakimat Aliu brings us details.
This is the new Accident and Emergency Trauma Center at the Gwarinpa General Hospital. Director General, FCT Hospital Management Board, Dr. Kawu Mohammed, in his remark at the inauguration, discloses that the mini trauma center will be used to take care of patients in critical condition.
This place was planned for a plaster suit, but because they don't have a trauma unit, they've converted it to a very beautiful trauma unit where trauma cases, including the plaster, is going to be managed.
For the medical director of the hospital, Halima Bello, the additional facility became necessary to attend to teeming population who need healthcare services.
With medical emergencies, trauma cases all matched in one place. So when the concept of the plaster room came up, we now felt we could do more with with that building. Instead of using it for just a plaster room, why not we create a trauma center so that we can receive the accident victims here and then take care of the medical emergencies over there. So that was what we did, and now we're merging the A&E, the former A&E, with the trauma center. We're merging it together so that we can work hand in hand.
The medical director added that the hospital has also trained orthopedic specialists who will be fully engaged to attend to issues related. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
While the Federal Capital Territory Administration, through its Social Development Secretariat, has embarked on a 5-day free HIV and AIDS test for staff and residents of the territory. Head HIV Unit Social Development Secretariat, Dr. Okoro Enenwachinemere, stated that it is part of measures to curb the spread of the virus in the capital city. Ifani Izumba reports.
The means that people can contract HIV is sharing sharp objects with infected person.
Youths in Nigeria, especially in FCT, are at risk of HIV virus. The vulnerability to HIV is linked to multiple concurrent sexual relationships. Aside from that, indiscriminate use of needles, clippers, and other sharp objects could also lead to contacting the virus. The head of HIV/AIDS unit of the Social Development Secretariat, FCTA, Dr. Ene Okoro, revealed that the exercise is to enable residents know their status and ways of prevention.
It is very important that people should know their HIV/AIDS status. When you know your HIV status, it will enable you to live more positively. Yes. So, and also help to reduce the increase of the HIV virus in FCT, control the prevalence rate of HIV.
Important for us to actually reach out to people to let them know that HIV and AIDS is still real, because from statistics shown, it's actually growing in a high geometric regression due to the...
Beneficiaries speak on the importance of knowing their status and how to manage the virus.
They have like a stigma. They are treated as people that when you come in contact with them, you get the virus easily, but that's not necessarily the case. You know, HIV is something that can be treated, it can be suppressed.
It's very, very important to know your status so that you will know whether you will be able to live to see next month or any other day.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration is also providing support services for those living with the disease, like skill acquisition, empowerment, and provision of drugs to reduce the viral load. In Abuja, Ifani Izumba, NTA News.
More so, it is a renewed hope for FCT residents and indigents, especially rural dwellers, who will benefit from free eye care. Chairman Abuja Municipal Area Council Ama Christopher Zakami Kalangu stated this during a visit to the CHANNEL5 Foundation Eye Hospital Abuja. Cecilia Julius reports.
It was a familiarization visit around the healthcare facility. Chairman Abuja Municipal Area Council Christopher Zakami Kalangu, while expressing satisfaction over the contributions of the hospital at improving the health of Nigerians, called for partnership with the CHANNEL5 Foundation to utilize its services for rural dwellers of the FCT.
I've gone around myself, I've seen people across Nigeria, people that came all the way from Ibadan, from Suleja, from East, just for their eye checkup. And to God be the glory, this wonderful organization are giving them free service without demanding kobo from anybody. I am so happy having such people in our society. On that note, I have told them, giving Nigerians free service, free healthcare. I am giving them, I've waived all taxes being paid by this wonderful organization. Let's see how we can expand this kind of charity to our people at the rural areas. Because the problem we're having is that people at the rural area are not even aware of this. And some of them may have a transport challenge to come down to the city. On that reason, I want to partner with this organization so that we go down to them and give them this free eye service treatments.
In a bid to achieve his mandate and give back to society through meeting the health needs of Nigerians, he promised to contribute his quota in ensuring good eyesight for the people. Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
This is NTA Channel 5 News at 1 p.m. And still to come on the news. Marketers hint on increase in price of cooking gas. This and more after the break.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
School evaluators who distinguish themselves have been honored for outstanding performance by the FCT Department of Quality Assurance. Onoze Yakubu was at the award ceremony and brought back this report.
Beneficiaries of this thank you award for exhibiting high sense of dedication and commitment to duty include a retired director and staff of the Department of Quality Assurance.
I'm happy that the legacies we left behind are recognized and are being moved further.
I feel honored, I feel great, and I highly appreciate the effort of the department and the entire FCTA as a whole.
Representative of the FCTA Permanent Secretary E.B. Prosper urges staff to keep the flag flying.
The message is to, for younger staff, the subordinates, to be encouraged by what has happened. This is going to be publicized, and those who didn't weren't privileged to get this award will be forced to put more efforts so they can benefit in the next years coming. And it will help to bring out the best in them.
We deemed it fit to encourage the hard work of our evaluators. And most of the time, there are people who work in the background and people don't seem to recognize their work, the challenges they have to face, even in doing their work. So it's to act as a source of encouragement to them and to make them work be more committed
to the work they are engaged in.
The awardees pledged to sustain the momentum for improved service delivery. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
The fourth installed Centenary District Chairman of Inner Wheel District 910 Nigeria, Adenike Bamisaye, has pledged a more humanitarian intervention for the less privileged and communities under her leadership. Abdullahi Ajia has details of the investiture in Abuja.
The decoration and installation of the 4th Centenary District Chairman of the Inner Wheel District 910 Nigeria, members and guests say, signaled the beginning of a new dawn. The new leader of the humanitarian organization pledges to serve with empathy, integrity, and sense of responsibility.
I'm acutely aware of the responsibility that comes with this role. Create a positive impact on the lives of the individuals and communities we support.
In her commitment to lead like minds, she guarantees she will continue to touch more lives positively, urging her team to support her as she leads and inspired packed projects targeted at communities in the areas of health, empowerment, care for the elderly, and provision of potable water.
There are still countless souls out there who need our compassion and support. We must continue to strive, innovate, and extend our reach to touch more lives and make the world a better place for everyone.
I will encourage everybody to, in their own capacities, to try as well as possible and be charitable enough to help the society.
We are so many that they really empower today. God will bless them. Give them more wisdom and more knowledge to help other people.
On the occasion, a number of persons benefited from an empowerment gesture and food donation as part of walking the talk of being kind to others. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
A digital surveillance equipment known as CCTV cameras, experts argue, has become imperative to facilitate security. And this special report, Toyiba Andifowosh, examines the efforts of the government and individuals and the tech experts in making this a reality.
The use of CCTV cameras in public and private infrastructure in the nation's capital is becoming prevalent. Abuja Metropolitan Management Council is in charge of approving the designs of any erected structure in the nation's capital. The coordinator of the council says building designs for public infrastructure without provision for CCTV cameras will not be approved.
So I've already given our directives here. Henceforth, anybody that wants to submit a development, submit a plan for development in Abuja, depending on the premises, all these shopping complexes, all these public places, all the markets, all the garages, and all what have you. So long as it's a public area, so many people go, we mandate the developers to make sure they provide CCTV camera.
On the streets of Abuja, many residents worry about the affordability of such high-tech equipment for all.
CCTV are quite expensive because if they are affordable, I'm sure that many companies, organizations will have it. So I think they are quite expensive. That's why many people are not using it. In as much as it's very important for security reasons.
I don't think a CCTV camera is affordable for a common man like me and you.
Abdurrahman Alawode owns a tech company in charge of installing CCTV cameras. He says the cost of importation and the high dollar to naira exchange rate determines the prices of the surveillance equipment.
This in Nigeria, generally, concerning CCTV installation is the high price in dollar naira conversion, in which the prices of those electronics or gadgets are high, extremely high. When you give a quote to clients, it is somehow high.
He, however, appealed to the government to provide intervention in terms of grants, trainings, and availability of infrastructure to boost local production of CCTV cameras. This will hopefully make it affordable for all. In Abuja, Toyiba Anifoshi, NTA News.
It's time now for business news.
Marketers say cooking gas price to rise next week. Many thanks for joining us on Business News. I am Aisha Over-Ali, your guide. The president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatunde Oladapo, said gas consumers should brace themselves for price hikes starting next week. He cited rising international prices, high tax rates, and prices of vessels, forex scarcity, and naira devaluation as some of the reasons for the intended price review. And to local news, usually traders rent shops or build their own shopping mall to sell their products. But nowadays, some individuals make use of their private cars to sell their goods. In view of this trend, Francis Kabila visited the popular UTC market area at 10 Abuja to ascertain the reason behind the use of personal cars to trade.
Just like the saying, all fingers are not equal, some traders in most parts of the country, including the Federal Capital Territory, who use their personal cars to sell their products like clothes, bags, technical tools, and cooked food, among others, explained to NTA News crew that they lack financial strength to rent a shop of their own, hence, it is a temporary decision. Some traders in the popular UTC market area in Abuja, who sell on the streets of the city, said, aside financial constraints, the demolition of the popular UTC markets about 2 months ago left them with no option than to use their cars to sell in order to make a living.
Not that we don't make profit, but it's just that because of the little things we can carry in the vehicle. There's not much in return on mobile sales, but it is good that we start somewhere.
Meanwhile, customers who came to patronize them revealed that their products are more affordable than shop owners. Francis Kabile, reporting for Business News.
In another development, FCT residents say the strain on the economy due to the rise in prices of goods and services has resulted to a decline in patronage for many products. Moses Cree reports.
FCT residents say staple foods including rice, beans, tomatoes, and the likes are constantly increasing in price, making it more difficult for them to cope feeding thrice a day. This situation, they say, affects many large families, particularly low-income earners.
When we are selling kilo now, it's 3,000 naira. Before, we sell normal 2.7.
A bag of beans now is 72,000. A bag. But before it was 50,000. Gari, before we are buying it like this red gari, we are buying it 27,000, 23,000. But now it's 33,000.
Hope that the situation will get better. Moses Queer, reporting for Business News.
Many thanks for watching. The news continues shortly.
And now, sports brief.
100 meters hurdle swimming world champion Toby Amoson has made the finalists for the upcoming event in Hungary come August 19 to 27th. Amoson was initially omitted due to the Athletics Integrity Unit suspension after she failed to attend a doping test, but will compete if she wins as she stands a chance to defend her title. The World Athletics confirmed that over 2,000 athletes from over 200 teams intend to compete at Hungary's new National Athletics Center. Meanwhile, Lagos State government has reassured the Confederation of African Football (CAF) of her preparedness to provide top-notch sporting facilities and the enabling environment to boost Nigeria's chances of co-hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations with the Republic of Benin. Governor Babajide of Lagos to the Deputy Governor gave the assurance while receiving an inspection team of the Confederation of Africa Football at the State House in Lausa, Kenya. Elsewhere, Nigeria's under-18 girls made it to the final of the IHF Women's Trophy Africa Continental Phase after their victory over Rwanda. The Shitu Agbula tutored babes made it a hat-trick of victories after defeating Rwanda 38-30 in a handball contest on Thursday. Nigeria's Prudence Onyechukwu Samuel was named most valuable player of the match. They will play in the final most likely against Guinea on Saturday. More so, Fever's hammer lands on England forward Lauren James as she received 2-match ban for her red card in the Women's World Cup game with Nigeria. The Lionesses' top scorer in the tournament with 3 goals and 3 assists was sent off for stamping on the back of Nigeria's Mitchell Alozie in the last 16 tie. With Sports Brief, Gideon Yohana, NTA News.
And just before we go, here is a recap of some top stories. ECOWAS leaders have directed immediate enforcement and monitoring of sanctions on Niger Republic military junta. FCT administration has embarked on a 5-day free HIV and AIDS test for staff and residents. And that's the news. We thank you for watching. Do have a very good afternoon.